All right, so first question. Is it things that we don't like about each other? So I would have to say the one thing that I don't like about Kierra would have to be I'm always driving. She always make me drive. I love to drive, but she don't ever drive. Like never. She never drives. Ever. Like ever. Ever.
Okay. You don't gotta keep on elaborating. It's okay. I'm gonna drive more now. Okay. Maybe. Something I don't like about my baby. I would have to say he's very impulsive. I think that's probably the biggest thing. He's very, very impulsive. If there's any type of emotions involved, then you could basically count him out. You could count him out because he's just making irrational decisions at that point. What does it mean to love someone?
To love someone. If you genuinely love someone, to me, I would have to say that I don't know. I really don't know. What does it mean to love someone? Like, it means you can't live without them. Like, I didn't want to say that because, I would.
It sounds cliche.
Yeah, and I would think that I would want to say that, oh, that's a in love type of thing, but it can be a part of love because some people love hard. You know what I'm saying? So you can love someone, and by loving that person, you could want to be with them every day, all day, want to be the person that make them happy, want to be the person they spend their life with. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel about that. How about you?
I feel like to love someone is to make their needs or their wants just as important as your own. Also, to pretty much everything you do for this person is to make them happy. It's never to make them feel anything less than that or just simply make them feel less than what they are. That's pretty much my take on that.
Another part of that is sacrifice. If you love someone, you sacrifice. It's a big part of love. Love is
compromise.
Like, they're like right there. Love, sacrifice, you know what I'm saying?
Even changes, changing. It's not necessarily changing for them, but changing for the betterment of your relationship, which is basically you're making changes as individuals that also benefit you. So yeah, that's my take on what it means to love someone.
How long have we known each other?
Come July of this year, it would be 2 years of us knowing each other.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so would you care if the sex was bad? Would you love him the same? I guess that question is for you.
I think I would be lying if I said I wouldn't care if it was bad, but I for sure feel like I would love him the same because sex isn't something that's a huge part for me. Like that's not something that is a necessity. It's more of like a bonus, a privilege. It just adds to the relationship, but it's not something that will make me love him any less.
How often does sex occur? That's none of y'all business.
Yeah, that's kind of
personal.
That's weird
as fuck.
Like I just didn't say, it is personal, but let people into your life. They don't want to hear too much that's personal. That's what YouTube is for. So say something like, as often as we want, or it's whenever we want it, or just giving them a little something. You don't want to be like, that's personal.
I got you. Watch this. How often does sex occur? When the coochie call.
That's not what she was saying.
Just saying,
Okay, let me ask you.
When it happens, it happens. Okay. How did you guys meet?
Long story short, because we're actually going to do a separate video on this, but we met on Twitter.
For sure. It was Twitter. It was the bird. What was his first impression of you when he first met you? My first impression of her was, damn, she finer than what I thought she was. I mean, she didn't really have much on. She had like some cheerleading shorts, a tank top, had a hair wrap.
A chill little fit.
Damn. And then we are here.
Do we believe in God? Basically, I'm gonna say more so, do we believe in religion?
No. Do we believe in God, like a God?
Yes,
that exists?
we believe in a
For sure.
higher power, but not in,
For sure.
the practice of religion.
Yeah, for sure.
Do we have a favorite show?
Do we have a favorite show?
We have a couple of favorite shows.
I was just gonna say that's kind of hard because boy, Queen of the South, let me
They
tell
need
you.
to hurry up and come
They
back with
need
that.
to hurry up because it like we got a couple shows we like, but Queen of the South, it was like once we cut it on, it was like, man, we gotta go to work in the morning. We only got like 8 hours to watch as much as we can. I mean, Queen of the South, that was it. We watched like all of Queen of the South. Like it was no days in between. We took no breaks.
No.
For sure, Queen of the South. For me, now she might have different opinions, but we like a lot of stuff.
Another great show is Lucifer on Netflix.
That's my dog. That's my dog.
Now that show
That's my dog.
is completely different from Queen of the South, which is why I like it because, a lot of people often like shows that kind of relate in a way. But Lucifer is completely different and it just gives you a whole different perspective.
Lucifer, a straight gangster. He's a straight gangster. You can't not like him. He's a straight gangster.
Do we think we love each other genuinely?
Definitely. For sure.
That's a stupid ass question.
Somebody asked her, did she scratch my butt for me?
Like, who the fuck is scratching?
Idiot.
What activities do we enjoy doing together?
Watching TV,
Eating.
cooking, going to the lake,
Yeah.
eating.
Pretty much anything that's...
Yeah, we do everything together other than go to the bathroom.
But I mean, even sometimes, I'll step in while he's using the bathroom.
She's a creep. She's a straight creep.
I mean, that kind of comes with living with each other. You just kind of get that type of level of comfort to where it's like, I'm not waiting for you to get done in the bathroom for me to come in there and do what I gotta do.
Yeah.
So, what is something that we knew we could bring to this relationship to make it successful? I feel like, for me personally, I knew that I could bring a sense of stability. And that's not in regards to finances or those type of things, but more so just being consistent with how I show my love or how I show my affection or, just how I treat him. That was something really big for me that I knew that I would be able to obtain in this relationship.
Okay. One thing I knew I could bring to the relationship was comfort. A lot of guys can comfort you in your home and can comfort you and, while y'all on a date. But if you, on the road and your car break down, are you really comfortable with that man? Like, are you comfortable? Do you feel like at any given moment that if something happened that you protected? Like, that's me for sure. It's never gonna be a moment where she gotta worry about being in any situation and I ain't got her back or I ain't there or I'm not gonna do nothing about it. I'm putting forth all effort to keep her comfortable in any given fashion. So yeah, that probably would be my thing.
Okay, so I have another question to add to that then. So What is something that you can identify that I've brought to the table to make the relationship successful?
One thing I can say that you bring to the table to make this relationship successful is your communication. Because I don't got none. I don't. I can irritate now, I'm just leaving alone. Bye. But then here she come. Just talk. Why you gotta be so mad for? Calm down. It ain't that serious. Just tell me what it is. You know what I'm saying? It makes a big difference. It really makes a big difference. For sure.
One thing I can say for him is he for sure brings security. Like, I'm never feeling like I never feel on my own. Even if, you have those moments where it feel like y'all are against each other, it's still like we have that bond that's so tight that it don't feel like it's literally us against each other. Like, we could have our attitudes or whatnot or miscommunication, but at the end of the day, we still know, like, it's us. We just having a little rough patch. So security is definitely it.
What's our biggest strength as a couple? We will fight for each other. And I mean literally. Do you comprehend?
That's another story time. That's a whole nother story time. But
we sliding about our folk over here.
Yeah.
I'm talking about all the way sliding.
Yeah.
All right. What's our favorite date? Favorite date would have to be our first date. Because it was so cliche, but in our way. Like, we went to the park, had a picnic. We threw our croutons from our Olive Garden salad at the birds. They ate them. Mm-hmm. We drank our slushies, listened to our music. You know what I'm saying?
It was very romantic, and it wasn't like the picnic where you get the blanket and you lay it out on the grass. We went and found the bench that was sitting right on the pond, and we was just watching the ducks and the turtles and everything swimming. It was nice.
For sure. Nice. By far, my favorite date ever. Yeah, by far. What's y'all favorite food to eat together? Pasta. Who came on to who? Y'all just want a lot of snitching going on. A lot of snitching.
He came on to me.
For sure. You see it? Do you see it? Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
What does he bring to the table that others didn't?
Knowledge. He brought knowledge in a sense of manly things. Like, you could ask him anything about a car and he could break it down to you. You could pretty much ask him anything in regards to history and he'll know about it. Or science, he gonna know about it. Cooking, he gonna know about it. Like, it's not too many things that I feel like he don't know. And that's a huge thing because prior to him, guys wasn't as knowledgeable in a way that would keep me around or that would keep my interest or make me want to learn more from that individual.
Okay. When was the moment we really knew the other person was the one?
I knew he was the one. Honestly, like, in all honesty, from the very, very first time we met in person. It was just a very natural vibe that made me feel as though I had already knew him. Like, I had to have known him in a past life or something because it was no way that we connected and vibed as well as we did. And that was literally our first time seeing each other, first time hearing each other's voice for real because, we met on Twitter and, like, we was texting, but we never picked up the phone and talked to each other. So the very first time I knew, and once we left each other from that little weekend or whatnot, it was like I couldn't stop thinking about him. I was just craving to hear from him or to, be around him type thing. But life situations happened where that wasn't,
I'm gonna have to say I knew she was the one when after we first met, we stopped talking for a long time. But after we stopped talking, I could smell her. Let me tell you, I ain't never smelled her. Nigga, I could smell her. It was like she was sitting next to me. So one day, I was like, and it was weird how this happened. One day I just held a line and I'm like, "Fool, I can smell you. Like I can smell you." And then soon after that, she was back in Nashville. Like it just all happened so ironically. So ironically. I smelt her and she returned.
And we never separated.
Never separated. Never went the other way. Never. Not once. Didn't even look.
Do we live together? Yes. We lived together before we ever made it official.
Yeah. We did.
We for sure just
We
jumped
couldn't.
right on that bandwagon. It was one of those. It was so natural.
And it wasn't like we even asked for it. It was just like I was there every day.
And it was never like a, so when you going home? Or, so what you know, when people don't really want to tell you, like, you got to go, so they be like, so what you doing today? It was never one of those. It was, what you want to do? Like, what we doing now? Type thing. Like, we never wanted to separate, and we never did separate.
What do we think makes a relationship work? Me personally, I would have to say trust. If you trust the other person with your mental, your physical, and your emotional,
Your life.
then I don't see anything that can stop that person. I don't see anything that could stop that love. If you trust somebody with all of those things, which is technically all of you, you know, I don't see that withering away. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to find that. It's real hard to find that.
My answer would be communication. Laughter. Laughter is a very big one, which a lot of people don't pay attention to, but you have to have a sense of humor. You have to be able to make that person laugh or smile even in their worst moments. Those are the times that actually matter.
For sure.
It's not always about, you know, how things are when y'all good. The way y'all interact when y'all are in a bad time is gonna tell it all. That's gonna tell you how solid you are as a couple.
Most definitely. So. Last but not least, what made us do YouTube? I ain't gonna lie to you. Cause I ain't never watched YouTube. I never watched YouTube. I might have got on YouTube if I was trying to figure out how to fix something. Then I met her. And now all of a sudden YouTube is pretty much TV. So
No, literally. I don't watch.
YouTube's pretty much TV. And not only that, even though she kind of put me on to the YouTube, you know, I kind of did realize, like, we got a story to tell. You know what I'm saying?
And y'all need to hear it.
For sure.
Everybody needs to hear it. Because everybody's love story is different. You know?
I'm telling you, listen to this wild ride.
No, for real. So, I wanted to start YouTube with him just because, you know, basically what he said, as well as, you know, you just gotta let people in. Let people see how you live. And, I mean, you can't necessarily walk in our shoes, but you could watch how we walk. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, for sure.
I just wanted to show everybody our love, our happiness, our journey. So that's why we're doing YouTube.
I think that's it.
Yep.
I think that's it, girlfriend.